took a peek at the plushies and spotted this Bulbasaur plush. Then you got this NBA Jam, which I definitely was going to pick up. I guess GameStop does offer some pretty good trade-in credit for PlayStation 4 games. Hello everyone, it's Austin and we are back with another episode of my $10 Nintendo Collection series. We've been on a mission to build this gigantic Nintendo collection, and we've been doing this for over 40 weeks now, looking to continue it on here. We got this list of final games that we have to find, and in last week's episode we were able to find 2 of them. That leaves us off with 6 more games to conclude off this series. To start off this episode though, I really don't have too much to go over. I do have one question that I wanted to ask you guys. So recently I've been playing a lot of video games, and I realized that I have such a huge backlog of games that I really do want to play. I want to know if you guys have a huge backlog of video games that you guys are looking to play this year as well. What are your top games this year that you want to play from that? For me, I've been playing a lot of PlayStation 5 and trying to play through a lot of PlayStation exclusives, and then also my Nintendo Switch, which I haven't really gotten to as much this year. I recently completed the Days Gone game, which I probably told you guys already, but I also played a Tales of Zestiria game. Big fan of the Tales franchise, and it's just like a very comforting game to play because I really do enjoy the JRPG aspects, the storytelling, the animations. I'm currently playing through God of War 2018 right now. That game looks absolutely beautiful. And then this game right here, Ghost of Tsushima. Hoping to get to this game next. I know with Assassin's Creed Shadow that it released, they've been comparing that game to this for the longest. Can't wait to play through this game and experience it for the first time though. And then for the Nintendo Switch, I've been slacking on it, of course, playing Pokemon, hoping to complete that soon. If not, I might just take a break and play something different. But there are 2 Switch games that I do really want to get to next, and that's Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I've never played a Fire Emblem or a traditional style Fire Emblem game yet, and I think this would be a great one. I only heard great reviews from this. And then you also got Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Seems like a really fun and comforting game to play as well. I feel like I haven't played a 3D platformer in a while, so hoping to really get to this soon. But yeah guys, what games in your backlog do you guys have lined up to play next or soon for this year? Back to this collection though, we're really in need of selling some items to build up our game fund, especially if we're going to seek out some of these big games. We have a big convention coming up soon as well, and would love to build up a game fund to be able to purchase games over there as well. But enough of this talking, let's jump into our sales and get into these updates. Here we are at the game showcase, and we just made 2 pretty nice sales. The first item is a game. It's going to be this Assassin's Creed Odyssey Steelbook Gold Edition. We sold this one for $33.50 and sold very quick. The second item we sold is another game that we picked up from the same place that we got that one. This Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2, and this one also sold very quick for $68. Picked up both of these for around $27 at a GameStop. We just made another sale, and it's going to be a game right here, this Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. Sold this one for $21.50, brand new and sealed. And we picked it up for about $4 at a game store. Let's go ahead and get this one packaged and shipped. After eBay fees and shipping, this is how much we'll get to add back to the game fund. We are starting off out here at a Goodwill and checking out the media section. Right off the bat, found some video games. We got Star Wars Battlefront on the PlayStation 2. Missing a manual, but this thing does hold a little bit of value, around like 10 to 15. And then this Rock Band 3. This game for sure holds a ton of value, but unfortunately, inside is a Rock Band 1 game. We'll debate on picking this up still. Maybe the case and manual might be worth something. And then we got Minecraft on the Xbox 360. I feel like these Minecraft games aren't worth as much anymore, but may consider grabbing this one still. You got GTA 5, which probably gonna pass on. Was complete with everything though. But off to a pretty good start so far. You got 2K14, you got Madden games. They kind of just had games scattered all around at this place. And I did in fact pick up this Rock Band game though. Just gonna show you guys what else I found here. They had a Dragon Age Inquisition, which probably wasn't worth it. It's just great to be able to find video games still at a Goodwill. And then lastly, we got some Wii games up here. Nothing too special, really. Took some time to browse around the store and found this Between Two Cities board game, brand new and sealed. This one does hold a little bit of value, but doesn't really move too much on eBay, so decided to pass up on that. And then this Watch Your Mouth game, just a silly board game, I'm assuming. Took a peek at the plushies and spotted this Bulbasaur plush. Anytime I find Pokemon plushes, it's always great, and definitely consider picking this one up, but it was a bit dirty.
How about you?
So it'll be 663. I'm just gonna ask you gonna round up on your total.
Okay.
We made a stop at a PayMore store this week, and this store actually had a ton of retro games, some NES and Super Nintendo games. Gonna quickly show you guys what's in the case right now. Other than that though, it really wasn't too much in here. I really like this store in particular because they do the 5 for 20 deal, so can get some better games for cheaper. Gonna show you guys these NES games. You got this Yoshi game, you got Dr. Mario, and then this Heavy Barrel game, which I definitely considered. And then some Super Nintendo games back here. Nothing too crazy. They had Shaq Fu. It's always crazy to see just how much pop culture stuff Shaq was involved in back in the 90s. Then you got this NBA Jam, which I definitely was going to pick up. Other than that, just a Family Feud game and some kind of solitary game. Taking a look at the Xbox 360 section next, and I found this Fallout Game of the Year. This one holds a little bit of value, so was gonna consider grabbing this one. It was also complete with the map. Just took a quick scan at the PlayStation 2 section and really wasn't anything worth grabbing in there. They had some great PlayStation exclusives in this case, and that's usually what I go for. I actually did pick out that Bloodborne game to the right, along with this Kingdom Hearts The Story game. I just don't see this game in particular too often. Just got 5 games. Probably these. Oh. Here we are at the game showcase. We got one quick sale, and it's going to be a game right here. This Sniper Elite 3 on the PlayStation 4. And we sold this one for around 18 bucks. Got it for, I don't know, like $4 or $5 at a pawn shop. We made 3 sales. The first item is going to be an item that we had for a while, and it's actually just this Pokemon Moon case and manual only. This one we sold for $13.50, and we picked it up for $1 at the Goodwill bins. The second item we sold is this Blu-ray, brand new and sealed, American Gods Season 1 TV show. This one sold for $17.50, I believe. The last game we sold is going to be this Forza Horizon 3 on the Xbox One, and this one we only sold for $16.50 and picked it up for around $6 at a pawn shop. Now this might not seem like it was worth it, especially with the small profit that we got, but understand this was part of a bigger deal. It was part of a 4 for 25 deal, and for us to be able to just break even on this, it's still worth it because we were able to get the other 3 games for a good price. Let's go ahead and get these packaged and shipped after eBay fees and shipping. This is how much we'll get to add back to the game fund. We are in the car right now, and this morning I saw that I got a notification from GameStop that they're having my favorite sale, the 4 for 20 and the 4 for 40 sale. So maybe we'll stop at some GameStops this week and see if we can pick up some Nintendo games, some Switch games, or some retro games, and see what kind of deals that we can find out there. Here we are in the GameStop now, and again, gotta take advantage of this awesome deal. Found some N64 games. They got Cruisin' USA. If I could find any of these for under $20, that would be great. I was mainly aiming to do the 4 for $40, so we're looking for any game under $20. If we can get 4 of those, we would pretty much be getting them for $10 a piece after the sale. They actually had a decent selection of Wii games. Spotted this Resident Evil 4 for 15 bucks. Could definitely grab some of these just to add to the collection. Gonna quickly browse through some of these sections. They had all the Need for Speed games on the PlayStation 2, and Most Wanted was the one that I was for sure going to pick up because it was under $20. And then down in the PlayStation 3 section, I spotted one game that I have never seen before. Had to look this one up, and does hold a little bit of value, but at around $30 to $40, won't be picking that up. And then in the Xbox section, they didn't really have too much. They got Lost Odyssey, which is always one to consider, especially if I'm getting it for around 10 bucks. Had to stop by the Nintendo Switch section, and again, looking for games under $20. There really isn't too much. Found this GTA trilogy, which I just recently picked up, and it's one that I definitely want to check out. I heard they improved like the graphics and gameplay. Found this Friday the 13th game for $19. Considered this one, but they actually just recently closed the servers for this game back in December, so I don't even know if this game is playable anymore. And then down here I found this Pocky and Rocky Reshrine, which I will be grabbing. This is one of my favorites that I played on the Super Nintendo. Just came back here to pick up the games. You got Most Wanted for $17.99. And then in the N64 section, you got Cruisin' USA, along with this Wave Race 64 game. How about you? Over here. It's got 4 games. Alright, so that wasn't the greatest stop, but not too bad. Unfortunately, they did not have the Wave Race game, which really sucks, on the N64. Instead, I just swapped it out with this Lost Odyssey game, one that I usually flip, and we got it for around 10 bucks with the sale. They did have the Cruisin' game on the 64. Got some stickers on here, but should be pretty easy to remove. Pocky and Rocky Reshrined, one of my favorites on the Super Nintendo. This is like a remaster, a remake. And then just Need for Speed Most Wanted. This game holds a decent amount of value on all the platforms. And it was indeed complete. Actually, all the games were complete with the manual, so big win with that. We made our way to another GameStop, and in the car right now, I actually brought some video games that I wanted to go over with you guys really quick. And these are just some games from the collection that I got very recently and literally just got. So as you guys can see, we got Kingdom Hearts, Story So Far, and Bloodborne. We got both of these from the PayMore store, and it turns out that these games are trading in very well at GameStop. And it makes more sense to actually trade them in than actually put them up on eBay. Especially Bloodborne, for some reason, is trading in for over $10. And on eBay, they're only selling for around 10 to 15 bucks. I guess GameStop does offer some pretty good trade-in credit for PlayStation 4 games. We got the Forza as well, which I'm not sure if I'm going to trade in. And then a couple of loose games. So we'll see if we can find anything first. And then depending on what we find, we'll do this trade-in. We had to check out one more GameStop before the end of the week, and taking a look at the retro section as always. Had a good amount of Wii U games, but nothing too crazy. And then down here I spotted this Destroy All Humans for under $10. I decided for this stop that I was going to do the 4 for $20 sale. So looking for games under $10. If I can get 4 of them, we would pretty much be getting them for $5 a piece after the sale. Had some classic PS3 games. I spotted this Marvel vs. Capcom for under $10. It was definitely a bit more difficult finding some decent games for under $10. They had all the NCAA games for $9.99, and it's crazy to see just how far these games have come down in value. But yeah, just gonna show you guys what they had here. Probably missed out on some decent stuff. They had this Last Remnant game, which I definitely considered. The Switch section is definitely a lot harder to find games under $10. After scanning through, I found this LOL game. Was for sure not gonna grab this. And then scanning through the rest of these games, they had Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which is crazy to see that it's over $100 now at GameStop. And then Splatoon 3, which was a huge hit because this game is actually on my whiteboard, and may have to grab this one for $45, especially with the trade-in. We'll definitely be getting this for a lot cheaper. Was still looking around for a couple more games to add to our bundle of 4, and then I found this double pack for under $10. It values for, I don't know, 15ish, but doesn't really sell too often. After browsing around, I just really didn't find much, so I was just gonna pick up some games just to add to my personal collection. Consider this Mortal Kombat game, which had all the DLC. Got a handful of games, and then I also brought some games that I want to see if I could trade in. If you guys can trade.
Austin.
Back in the game room now, and that wraps up the game hunting for this week. We had a pretty solid week of video game finds. Let's go over all our pickups. Starting off at a Goodwill, and we got some pretty decent finds. Got all of these for like $2 a piece, so couldn't go wrong with that. We got Minecraft on the Xbox One, and I'm not sure how popular Minecraft is nowadays, but still holds a little bit of value. We'll see how much we can get back for this one. Then we got Rock Band 3, and it's actually just the case and the manual. There was a Rock Band 1 game in here, but we actually included that in our trade-in for GameStop. Definitely be on the lookout for this game if you can get it for cheap. And then lastly, we just got Star Wars Battlefront, unfortunately missing a manual. Next, we made a stop at the PayMore store and picked up 5 games for around $20. We got some Nintendo cartridge games. We got NBA Jam Tournament Edition. I feel like I haven't played an NBA Jam game in so long. They haven't really made any new ones since like the 2010 version on the Xbox 360. Then we got Heavy Barrel on the NES. It's kind of turned into a maraca. But yeah, this game's pretty popular. It's a top-down shooter, a lot of weapons that you can use. We got a copy of Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition. It includes like some extra booklets and maps in this as well, so hoping to be able to flip this one to recoup a little bit of money. And then we also came away with those 2 PlayStation 4 games. We had Bloodborne, and then also the Kingdom Hearts story so far. And those we actually traded into the GameStop and got over $10 in trade value for both of them. At the first GameStop, we picked up a Lost Odyssey on the Xbox 360. Had to swap this one in for the Wave Race game that they didn't have, unfortunately. Also really excited for the Expedition 33 game releasing this year. A lot of people have drew a lot of comparisons with this game. Picked up Need for Speed Most Wanted, just holds some decent value and actually is complete, so yeah, huge score with this one. Each of these games cost us about $10 a piece after the sale. We got Cruisin' USA on the N64. Anytime we can get some $10 N64 games, it's always a plus. And this one's in pretty decent condition. And they got one of my favorite Super Nintendo remakes, this Pocky and Rocky Reshrined. This is one of the very few Super Nintendo games that I played way back then with my brother, and we just had so many memories playing this. It's got some really great art style and visuals. It's pretty much a top-down shooter. It's based in Japan, and you're firing and shooting at mythical creatures. Really excited to pop this one back in the Switch and just see how well it plays for this remake. For our last visit, we went to another GameStop and actually did our trade-in, plus picked up 5 games. First game we got is Rad Racer, and this one I actually swapped in with another game as well. They had like a bunch of NES games behind the counter, which I didn't really get a look at, but they did show me this one was under $10. So I swapped this one out with the SSX game on the Wii that I found, and we got all these for around $5 a piece. We got this copy of Destroy All Humans on the Wii, Big Willie Unleashed. It just looked like a pretty silly Destroy All Humans game. Crypto is back to probe the world and take on the funky 70s on foot in his UFO and behind the control of his Big Willie mech. Decided to grab 2 PlayStation 4 games as well. We got South Park The Fractured Butthole. I've actually never played this one, but I played a ton of The Stick of Truth and really enjoyed it. Love the hilarious world of South Park and would love to jump back into this one. Also decided to pick up this double pack. You got Commandos 2 HD Remake and Praetorians HD Remake. Always love picking up these double packs. They do hold a little bit of value. No idea what these games are and how they play. It looks more like a top-down strategy game. And then lastly, we got to pick up a copy of Splatoon 3, which is one of our games on our list. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of these Splatoon games. I know they got some great reviews, but just by looking at the gameplay, it never really interested in me. There is a story mode to this, and of course the multiplayer. I'll definitely have to make some time to at least pop it in and try it out. But yeah guys, what a huge week of pickups for us. We got an assortment of Nintendo games and also some PlayStation games. Let's go ahead and add all of this to the collection right now, and also cross off one more game from our list, the Splatoon 3 on the Nintendo Switch. That leaves us off with 5 more games. We're halfway down with this list. But that's pretty much all I got for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this fun little episode, and I'll see you guys on the next one.